What's up, y'all? It's your boy JTMM, aka Just 10 More Minutes, aka the Freaking 10, back again with more Sabaton. And what a day to release this on. And I debated, do I want to release this on the 24th, as some people sell on the 24th versus the 25th of Christmas Day itself. This is coming out on Christmas Day. I'm actually recording it on Friday. And I really debated, did I want to put my message at the beginning or the end? And, you know, this is a longer video at 9 minutes, but I wanted to say this up front. This video to me is more than just about a truce during battle. We are in a battle today. We have fighting in the world like we've never seen it before. You can say that you're on the right side. You could say that the other person's on the wrong side, and they view it the other way. At the end of the day, we're all human. That's what, to me, this comes down to. We all have to live in this world, and we need to be able to work together. And I know that, you know, Christmas truce is kind of, you know, this one pause. But that's what the world needs to do. We need to stop and take a pause and realize at the end of the day, we all live on this planet. And we have to learn to work together, or we're not going to have not just a planet, but we're not going to have each other to rely on. So I don't give a rat's ass if you're on the left or right or up or down, what your nationality is, any of that. Take a pause and remember that we are all, at our core, human beings. Some of us have different views. Guess what? If we simply shut our mouths and listen, there's going to be things underneath those views that we can find common ground on. I don't care how extreme you are. You're fighting for a cause and fighting for a purpose. That can be on any topic. You believe strongly in your position. And what do you want? You want to be heard. Whether it's protecting what you feel versus someone you feel like taking it away. There's so many issues like that are going on that one side says the other side is wrong. The other side says, no, you're wrong. So the truth is in the middle. Meet in the middle. It's Christmas time. We're all human. Let's have our own Christmas truce. Let's get to the video.
It's the night of December the 24th, 1914, on the Western Front. The industrial might of the new 20th century has been focused into a war that has been going on for 5 months. Everyone thought it would be over by Christmas, but sadly such hopes have now died alongside the young men in the clinging mud and cold of the trenches. On the run-up to Christmas, Pope Benedict XV begged the warring governments to call a truce and asked that the guns may fall silent, at least upon the night the angels sang, but it was no use. In the trenches, sometimes just 30 meters apart, the men of both sides often shout insults to each other above the sounds of battle. On Christmas Eve, a cry comes over from the German side in broken English, "Tomorrow, you no shoot, we no shoot." The British and French are incredulous. Then along the trenches, there's a movement. But instead of seeing the sight of men going over the top, this time, pushed up above the top of the trenches, Christmas trees start to appear along the German lines, lit up by flickering candles. Is it a ruse? Could it be real? Could the regular soldiers on the front lines make a peace at Christmas when the church could not? On the wind, drifting across no man's land, there's a sound of hope and cheer as Christmas carols are sung. The gentle murmur becomes stronger and is picked up by more and more of the soldiers. As Christmas Eve becomes Christmas Day, the British and French join in too. As the morning draws, there's silence.
You know, I already feel the emotion coming. And I probably said this on the actual video. It could have been a ruse, right? I mean, that all sits in the back of your mind. It did in mine, just hearing this for the first time before getting into the actual story. But damn, Imagine just it going silent after the battles of 5 months, going silent. The emotions, my God. You know, just sitting here watching it, it gets you emotional thinking about what these guys felt. Hearing, you know, probably not in their native language, these carols, right? The Silent Night. And, you know, but hearing the tune and understanding the tune and you singing and realizing, again, like I said at the beginning of the video, we're all just humans. Oh, such a great freaking story.
In a farmhouse a short distance away from the front line is 18-year-old Scotsman Alfred Anderson. He vividly recalled that Christmas day and said, "I remember the silence, the eerie sound of silence. Only the guards were on duty. We all went outside the farm buildings and just stood listening. And of course, thinking of people back home. All I'd heard for 2 months in the trenches was the hissing, cracking and whining of bullets in flight, machine gun fire and distant German voices. But there was a dead silence that morning, right across the land as far as you could see. We shouted, 'Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!' Even though nobody felt merry.
I love this song. By the way, if you haven't checked it out, they released a karaoke version of this the other day. And I was sitting there singing to it. And I really wish that my voice was better. I was like, man, should I do that? And I thought about it and I was like, man, my voice sounds like crap right now. There's no way. But go check that out if you haven't. They've released the karaoke version of Christmas Truce, and it was just simply, the instrumental is just so damn good.
Silence. Oh, I remember the silence on a cold winter day. After many months on the battlefield, and we were used to the violence, then all the cannons went silent, and the snow fell. Voices sang to me from no man's land. We are all friends. And today we're all brothers, tonight we're all friends. Our moment of peace in a war that never ends. Today we're all brothers, we drink and unite. Now Christmas has arrived and the snow turns the ground white. Hear carols from the trenches, we sing a holy night. Our guns lay to rest on snowflakes. Our Christmas in the trenches, our Christmas on the front, far from home. Madness, how I remember the sadness. We were hiding our tears in a foreign land where we faced our fears. We were soldiers, carried the war on our shoulders for our nations. Is that why we bury our friends? We were all friends. And
That's awesome. You know, reflecting on what these guys were going through, right? You talk about 5 months of fighting. And then just being able to breathe, right? Think about, you know, these are guys that for months and months of deployment were sitting there battling, watching, you know, friends be killed, brothers be killed, family be killed on both sides. And for this night, you know, being able to breathe. I don't think it's anything, you know, we could imagine feeling of just, you know, getting that breath of not just fresh air. I'm sure the smell of the battle was still there for them, but literally being able to take that breath, right? We talk about today. Think about it in today's times, right? How many times we take a vacation when we're allowed to, just to come up from air of the daily grind. These guys were going at it for 5 months in a life and death situation. And here it is, the holiday, and just being able to, once they realized that, you know, okay, this is real, we're not being tricked, of being able to breathe. Man, I can't imagine the emotion. And then knowing, you know, in the back of their mind that as soon as it's over, you've got to go back and fight these same people that you just met. You saw their faces, you heard their voices. You know, you saw that they were just like you, fighting for different causes. Yeah. I mean, we know the story of how many of them couldn't, you know, and obviously you saw the stories of the generals that heard about it, but man, it just, I would be so overcome with emotion, which is probably why I'm not a soldier. Let's finish this out.
Turns the ground white. On Christmas on the front line, we walk among our friends. We don't think about tomorrow. The battle will commence when we celebrate to Christmas. We thought about our friends, those who never made it home when the battle had commenced.
There were many matches along the lines that day, some with proper footballs, some with bully beef cans, some were disorganized scrambles for the ball. Robert Graves reported that in his match, the Germans won 3-2. The Argyll and Southern Highlanders reported their match ended 4-1 to Scotland. An estimated 100,000 men took part in the Christmas truce. As the men moved back to their trenches, Captain Charles Stockwell took it upon himself to fire 3 shots skyward. He raised a flag upon which was written, "Merry Christmas." His German opposite raised a flag that read, "Thank you." The 2 men then stood on the ramparts and saluted each other. Alfred Anderson, the young Scotsman, survived the war and lived to the age of 109.
Wow.
He said of the end of the truce, "The silence ended in the early afternoon. It was a short peace in a terrible war." But one of the most remarkable quotes comes from a young soldier who, despite being away from his family for the first time, said of the events on that day, "I wouldn't have missed it for the most gorgeous Christmas dinner in England." A Merry Christmas from everyone at Yarn Hub, and the final words go to the members of Sabaton.
Merry Christmas!
Yep. He made an appearance. You know, like I said at the beginning, we experience this on a daily basis, not to the extent, you know, that we see where the world is at war, but I sure as hell think that's where we're headed. You know, there's just too much going on and too many things that people fight over stupid shit. That I truly believe that's where we're headed. And I hope on this Christmas, you know, just take the time to spend with your family. Enjoy the day. Don't worry about what other people think about you. Don't worry about what you think of other people. Save the judgment for another day. Just enjoy today. Let there be a truce. Don't worry about someone else's political views, what they think about your sexuality, your orientation, your gender, your race, any of that shit that in the grand scheme of things doesn't freaking matter. But us being humans, we're stubborn like that, and we want to matter. But in the grand scheme of things, they don't define us unless we let them. We're all human. Start there. Then all we have to do is listen and understand people's viewpoints. Then we may get somewhere. At the end of the day, we may agree to disagree, but we're all heard. That's all it takes to start a communication. Just be quiet and listen. Doesn't matter who goes first. So take this day. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't worry about what people think of you. Just enjoy the day. I hope your family is safe. Hope your family is happy. And I hope you get to just be you on this day. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, all of that, you know, whatever you want to fall under, doesn't matter. Y'all mean the world to me. This journey has been amazing, and it will continue to be amazing with the friends that I've made. Enjoy the day.